I was trying to stop you there for saying was the week in the wild. Right, you just scattered over that.
What's
so,
that? Sorry,
so they have a week in the wild.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, not a week in the wild, a weekend.
A weekend in the wild.
Right.
Where they've got to completely survive.
Right, yeah.
So tell me about that.
Yeah.
Especially the deer and that.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So, like I said, the project is based on providing a quality, providing a space, a comfortable space and an environment where children and dads can come together, or children and mums can come together. It's simple as that. It could be in Clifton, it could be in Hartcliffe, it could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. We all know that as parents, we've all got lots of things we do. Whether it is we're too busy and we're working up in, I don't know, in some kind of stocks and shares or something, or whether it's the fact that we had a shit relationship with our parents and we find it difficult to communicate. It's about trying to provide the right kind of space and environment where people can come together and have a quality experience together that will then help their relationship. And that basically was the first one we piloted, was the Reconnect Hartcliffe project. Amazing project. Seriously, like the feeling I got from that, I actually think maybe like that could be the direction and where it won't be the direction where things go long term, but it gave me the warmest feeling to see the impact that had on those children and dads. So every week we met up and we've done loads of different bushcraft stuff, so anything from firelighting, den building, willow weaving, green woodworking, outdoor cooking, loads of stuff, all that kind of carry on, foraging, all that kind of stuff. And it's an introduction to it. I'm no expert at any of this, but I've got an introduction and a decent grounding in all of it, so it's a good starting point. And I can build a relationship, because that's probably where my skills lie the most. And then after those 7 sessions, we then went away and stayed for a weekend in the wild. They didn't know where we were going. They didn't know anything about this. We literally walked into this woodland with someone that I know who's got the woodland. He's an amazing guy. And then we got into the middle of the woodland. He was like, right, that's it, we're camping now. They're like, okay, right, great. And that was it. So it was learn how to make a different type of den. They'd done that. I had the bivvies and the sleeping bags, so they had all that equipment.
So you said camping, but they had to build their own showers.
Yeah, build their own shower. They had to start. We were cutting down old wood. They had to build their own, like the fire that literally kept going throughout the whole 2 days. The same stuff as we all would have done not that long ago. Had to keep that fire going. Then we went off and some of the structure that we used the sticks to then go and catch some crayfish in this little kind of lake that is in the middle of this flipping woodland in between Bristol and Bath. You never would have known it was there. It was amazing. They went and catched crayfish. We caught crayfish for the dinner that night. We went swimming in this random little pool in the middle of this woodland. And then this was the moment when we thought we'd chuck something else at them. They learned how to do the fire lighting with the King Alfred cakes and the fire lighters. So you literally all from nature, and then you grab your scrub, all your dry stuff, wrap it in a ball, basic fire lighting. You've all heard of that stuff. We've done all that, and then when we come back up, this guy Tim, he had to cull deers anyway because he does coppicing at this space, or he used to anyway. So we had to cull deers anyway, otherwise they'd take over and like nibble all the trees and die. And he had this deer shot, and basically I said, right, let's get something. So then they have to skin the deer, they have to butcher the deer, they have to get the deer on the fire. This is going to blow their mind. If we want something for them never to forget, this is like the Scouts on acid, isn't it? They are never going to forget this. So that's what happened, basically. They come up, we walked up after their crayfish. In fact, they had loads of crayfish and it was all a bit of a buzz and we had a bit of fun. And then suddenly it was like, what was that? It's deer! It was hanging there. So then they had to, skin it, pull the skin off it, and it was mostly the young people that done it. Pulled the skin off it, skin it, they kept the skin, Tim kept the skin, he was going to use it to make pouches and different stuff. And then we had to butcher the deer, put it onto skewers, You know, we went flashy, we put a bit of cumin, put a bit of salt on it. We were going to town. We put all these different bits in it, and then they were over, that was it. Over the fire, roasting them, and then it was just things like, you know, jacket potatoes that are already partially cooked, standard shit really, you know, like baked beans, whatever. But the whole point was, it was that experience. We finished it off. The next day we went up to Tim's space where he does like chair making and things like that, and they were like, unbelievable. Like there's this built up space with, you know, like similar kind of stuff to that, smaller than that, but loads of different little pods that Tim has made over time with volunteers. And the group made a firelighter each. So each of those young people, they literally made it from scratch. Like they made the striker bit, we cut up a load of old saws, hand saws, and we made their own, and we got their wood, and basically made their own proper firelighter. So they've gone away, haven't they, with that experience, collectively, as a group. As a child and as a dad or a stepdad, there was different variations that they're never going to forget. And I knew that wasn't enough to make the impact that we'd hoped. So then we had another 3 sessions then when we come together as a group, and it was literally then for them to kind of brainstorm ideas that they'd want to do for 1 session a month for the next year. And that was amazing as well, because what happened collectively, they voted on stuff, and it didn't have to be linked with nature, but every one of it, like literally the things that got voted on, because they had to vote on all of them, it was democratically done. I can't remember all of them. There's things like axe throwing, there was things like litter pick at a beach and do some kind of artwork. You wouldn't necessarily, I'm being judgmental, I wouldn't have guessed that that is what this group would have chosen prior to this. Like, and that is being judgmental, you shouldn't do that at all. But that, you know, that was one of the things. There was stuff like they were going to go, what's it called when you do, they were going to get catch squirrels and then basically eat the squirrels over the barbecue, but then make the pouches from the skin. But that was through someone I know, but they were interested in that kind of stuff. But it was anything from like going on bike rides out in nature to doing like litter pick stuff and like art stuff to, you know, like axe throwing and bloody.
So what did they choose?
No, that is what they chose.
That's what they chose, right.
1 session a month for a year. So they started doing, like the first session we done after Christmas was done, and they took a lead on it. The whole point is, it's their group now. I'm not there. Do you know what I mean? I'm there for the first one, I'm there for the one in the middle, and then I'm there for the last one. The first session that they done, the dads organised it. They done a bird and bat box making. They done it. The kids done it. They done everything. They done the next one they done. We made what are things called? You have in fires. You make out of horseshoes, and basically you put your pots on so you can cook with them. You know what I'm on about. Like, so they get different heights so it's over the flames. Got someone to come along. It's a bit, well, yeah, a bit like that, but you know. So anyway, they got someone to come along. They got all the gear. They found someone that was a welder, come along, and all of them were supported to do a bit of spot welding, to weld together these horseshoes to make these different stands, so they could have a burn up and have something to eat. And anyway, you can kind of see they took control of this because it's what they want, and it was only through that experience that it happened. None of them come to it with that being their top of their agenda, and I could never imagine that that's what would have happened. COVID kicked in, and then obviously things have taken a bit of a back seat, but